Right then, welcome back to the preview. We're talking EFL Cup semi-final time, and we're playing against Nottingham Forest. Apparently, there was someone saw their arse with me calling them Notts Forest in the last preview that we did. Well, maybe don't call us Man United, and I'll think about it. Sound like a plan? Right, let's get into it then. How are they doing? So they come into the game actually in some quite good form. They've only lost 2 of their last 8 games, which has seen them climb out of relegation and into 13th in the Premier League. They beat Wolves on penalties in the last round to set up this semi-final. United fell to our first defeat in 11 competitive matches at the weekend, a run which had 9 consecutive victories, and obviously the draw at Crystal Palace midweek before we lost to Arsenal on Sunday. This represents an opportunity for a bounce back, but also an opportunity for some players to be rotated into the team, and I am going to be doing that. It's a bit of a blend of rotation. Actually, it's more rotation than I wanted, but it is a chance for silverware that cannot be allowed to be messed up. I and ahed between whether or not we absolutely go for it in the first leg, and maybe we rest a little bit in the second leg, and I thought the opportunity to have a little bit of a rest is in there. Now, when I get to my 11, I'll talk about some players more in depth. But let's look at Nottingham Forest first. So they started the season playing a 3-4-1-2 where the wing-backs pushed up really high and they would flood the area in the final third looking for deliveries, and it made them dangerous every game, but it also made them extremely vulnerable to counters on the transition, and they were far too open and they got punished by the quality of Premier League opposition. Steve Cooper went to a more common, more traditional 4-3-3 that often looks like a 4-3-1-2 in possession. It's made them a lot more solid and regimented and difficult to break down. Staple of their play is pace and youthful energy. The likes of Gibbs, White and Johnson have got quality. They got pace. They chase lost causes. They never give in. Jesse Lingard is still quality for them and also threatens at set pieces. Surridge isn't the threat that Awonye or Chris Wood are, but can still be real physical handful, and they might look to occasionally go a little bit direct, and he could be a real danger from set pieces or in the area from crosses. They do have enough quality in the team to hurt anyone that switches off, and they can be physical and energetic out of possession. Defensively, they do defend from the front. United are going to have to be up for it, or they will get punished and hurt in this one. This is how I think Nottingham Forest are going to line up, and I think the star man will be, out of this lot at least, Brennan Johnson. He's got a wide range of skills that allow him to be deployed in a number of different roles, including as a 10 or as a winger. He has got blistering speed and acceleration to get away from defenders on and off the ball. He's got really good link-up play. He's got a serious engine on him. He's a threat in behind. He runs the channels, and he has got quality on both feet. So you've got to look out for him. It really does. It really does have the potential to hurt you and make this happen. For United, like I said, I went with some strength and some what are obvious first choices because there's nobody else to play. So there's 4 of those and a couple of breaks for certain players. Now, I've got Maguire in the team. And I almost think Ten Hag might have to put him in the team as a political thing. But I also think that there's a very real chance Martinez plays, because Martinez still requires match rhythm and doesn't require the sort of rest that I think Varane needs managing a little bit more because he's a little bit more susceptible to injuries, whereas Martinez, I think, is still lacking that full match rhythm. But I think there is a pressure to play the club captain, and this might be the opportunity to do so. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez, Maguire, or even Martinez, Lindelof. Martinez, Lindelof would be the sensible one. If Maguire's in there, it's because it's political, because he isn't ahead of Lindelof in this sort of style. And I would have gone with Lindelof over him. I don't think Maguire can justify his selection ahead of any of the centre-half and even some of our left-backs at centre-half at the moment. Wan-Bissaka, because there's just a sheer lack of options at right-back. Dalot's back in training, but Ten Hag has ruled him out. Malacia to give Shaw a break, which rounds out the back line. I think it'll be David De Gea in net. We've obviously taken out Henderson from the opposition, which is a positive for us. I think it'll be De Gea that we go with in this one. Midfield of Bruno, Casemiro, and Fred. I don't want to see Scott McTominay in the team after the performance that he put in against Arsenal. I think that sends the wrong message if he gets selected. Palestri, I think let's give Anthony the night off. Put a little bit of pressure on him by giving Palestri the opportunity for a run out. Garnacho should start a game soon. This is the perfect opportunity for doing that. And I think the horse down the centre. Give Marcus Rashford a rest, or at least bring him on from the bench. Because if we lose Marcus Rashford, we would be in serious, serious trouble if we didn't have a Marcus Rashford in the team. And the match winner for United in this is Casemiro. We lost the presence, we lost the experience. And it will be a hostile environment with midweek. Forest are going to fancy themselves in this. It is a semi-final after all. This is their opportunity to stake a claim before it goes back to Old Trafford. Casemiro could easily take the sting out of this game. They're a team full of energy, full of industry, very busy. And I think just the calming influence of Casemiro just on his own takes the sting out of it. The class that he exudes just literally just tips the balance in United's favour. He's got physicality, he's got character, he's got aggression, sometimes too much, sometimes just enough. And it'll be an important game against a side that will look to try and start and play fast and try and rattle United. And that's why if I could go with Martinez and Casemiro and the horse down the centre, I think that would be a very calming presence on United. Perfect antidote for what's going to be a very, very intense game between the boxes. And we're just a better side with a minute. We defend better. We move the ball through the thirds better when we've got it. And Forest flood the box as well. So I think Casemiro's been in the right place at the right time, tracking somebody back. He's just the perfect guy to have in there. How do the rest of the 11 beat this Forest team? Well, as I said, it's slightly rotated. I think we go with a slightly rotated, less so, because there's no room for error on Saturday against Reading. But United have got so many games in such a short period of time that you've got to try and squeeze the rest in as much as possible. So I think the likes of Bruno, maybe even the horse, might get their rest come weekend against Reading. And some players might get it against Forest. So how do we beat them? First and foremost, cover. It will be an end-to-end game. That's what they want to make it, because their pacey forwards will hurt them. We've got pacey forwards of our own. We can't be caught out in transition, and again, that's a big reason why Casemiro is in the team. No matter who plays, I think they've got some injuries, but no matter who plays, they're going to have pace in the attack. So you've got to make sure that you're +1. Casemiro back in midfield is savvy enough to lead the team and make sure that we're covering the gaps as and when they appear. Tempo. The game's going to be played at a frantic pace. Good old semi-final sort of tussle. So the midfield battle needs winning. And I think Fred's industry, Bruno's trickery, Casemiro's class, between them, they can do it. They've got enough quality between them. You got to try and match the intensity that they're going to come with, and I think that's why Fred's in there. The home crowd can get behind them. They're in a good run of form at the moment. It is a semi-final. They're going to be bang up for it. You're going to have to weather the storm for 15 or 20 minutes. Once you've done that, the quality should show in the end. They're a team that can be got at. They haven't got their usual goalkeeper. Only Bournemouth have conceded more goals than them this season. Weighed heavy to the start of the season, but it's still a fact. They are vulnerable defensively, and the quality that United have got on display could show. They play a narrow formation, so the likes of Palestri and Garnacho could really spread them out. If we attack consistently and relentlessly, they should not be able to keep us out. And I do have faith that United, particularly if Martinez is involved, can keep a clean sheet. And that's all you need. Just take it back to the second leg with your noses in front, and we'll sort them out at home. But at the moment, it's a case of getting through each game. There's so many games between now and like the end of Feb, when the final of this competition is. It's the 26th of Feb. We need to be in that final. So you got to do what you got to do to put us through, but put us through in good shape. Let me know how you think it's going to go in the comments. Are we going to need the second leg? Or do you think we could get the job done and pretty much put the tie to bed in the first leg? That'd be nice for us, wouldn't it? Give someone a bit of a rest come the second leg. But let me know your thoughts and how you think it'll go in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.